Good morning, Pastor Brian here. Thanks for joining me today as we read a psalm a day throughout the book of Psalms. Today we'll be reading Psalm 104 together. As I do, I'll be reading from the Common English Bible. I invite you to follow along in your own favorite translation, or since this is in audio form, just listen to me read the text, and maybe while you're just listening, write down, or if you're following along, just make sure to just take that time to have little pad and pen or other writing utensil next to you, and just jot down your notes or your thoughts. Or wait till it's over and then just write down the one single thing that really kind of stuck out to you. It's really open to you, but I think it's important to really focus in and hold on to, whether mentally or on paper, what it is that really caught your attention. So without further ado, let's jump into Psalm 104. Let my whole being bless the Lord. Lord my God, how fantastic you are! You are clothed in glory and grandeur. You wear light like a robe. You open the skies with a curtain. You build your lofty house on the waters. You make the clouds your chariot, going around on the wings of the wind. You make the winds your messengers. You make fire and flame your ministers. You establish the earth on its foundations, so that it will never, ever fall. You covered it with the watery deep like a piece of clothing. The waters were higher than the mountains, but at your rebuke they ran away. They fled in fear at the sound of your thunder. They flowed over the mountains, streaming down the valleys, to the place you established for them. You set a boundary they cannot cross, so they'll never again cover the earth. You put gushing springs into dry riverbeds. They flow between the mountains, providing water for every wild animal. The wild donkeys quench their thirst. Overhead, the birds in the sky make their home, chirping loudly in the trees. From your lofty house, you water the mountains. The earth is filled full by the fruit of what you've done. You make grass grow for cattle. You make plants for human farming in order to get food from the ground, and wine which cheers people's hearts, along with oil which makes the face shine, and bread which sustains the human heart. The Lord's trees are well watered, the cedars of Lebanon, which God planted, where the birds make their nests, where the storks has a home in the cypresses. The high mountains belong to the mountain goats. The ridges are the refuge of badgers. God made the moon for the seasons and the sun too, which knows when to set. You bring on the darkness, and it is night, when every forest animal prowls. The young lions roar for their prey, seeking their food from God. When the sun rises, they gather together and lie down in their dens. Then people go off to their work, to do their work until evening. Lord, you have done so many things. You made them all so wisely. The earth is full of your creations. And then there's the sea wide and deep, with its countless creatures, living things both small and large. There go the ships on it, and Leviathan, which you made, plays in it. All your creations wait for you, to give them their food on time. When you give it to them, they gather it up. When you open your hand, they are filled completely full. But when you hide your face, they are terrified. When you take away their breath, they die and return to the dust. When you let loose your breath, they are created, and you make the surface of the ground brand new again. Let the Lord's glory last forever. Let the Lord rejoice in all he has made. He has only to look at the earth, and it shakes. God just touches the mountains, and they erupt in smoke. I will sing to the Lord as long as I live. I will sing praises to my God while I'm still alive. Let my praise be pleasing to him. I'm rejoicing in the Lord. Let sinners be wiped clean from the earth. Let the wicked be no more. But let my whole being bless the Lord. Praise the Lord. That is the end of Psalm 104. And, as you can obviously see, this psalm focuses on creation. And what a beautiful psalm about it and all that God did. I think this would be a beautiful psalm to complement whenever you look at, or we look at in worship together, or in Bible study, to couple this with the Genesis text, Genesis 1 and 2, just to show how people react to exactly what God did in creation. And I just love the way in which the psalmist here is just so overcome with joy and with excitement and with awe at all the things that God did with this world, how everything has its place, how God placed, the sun and the moon, how God placed the waters, how God made grass for the cattle, how he made mountains and for the goats to have their place, and for all of these different things, the badgers, all of them have their own time, their own place, their own season. Everything has its place in creation, including us. And part of that place of creation, which the psalmist points out at the very end, is to praise. To sing praises to God while I live. Because look at what God has given us in this planet we call Earth. We have trees, and we have bushes, and we have animals, and we have water, and we have sky and the stars, and just everything that we have, it in the parts of the world that we can't even see for ourselves. And yet, thanks to technology today, we can look at the beautiful fjords in the Scandinavian countries, and we can look at the incredible reef in Australia, and we don't even have to go there, and yet we can still see the awe and the beauty of God's creation. So that's what I got out of today's text, is just there's so many things that God has done just in creation, and that God's still working through all of this with the night and the day and the fields and the animals and feeding and all of that. It's beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say, because I feel like I've said enough. So what did you hear? What stuck out to you? What did you like? What didn't you like? Would you write down? Or take time right now to write it down. Share it with a friend. Share it with us. And as always, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and God bless.